What's up YouTube, Asian Persuasion here. We are here with another video. This is going to be the tutorial video that I was kind of explaining in my Link starter deck opening. I'm still kind of learning everything, so I might be wrong on some of this stuff, but this is just my general grasp of what I was trying to figure out by reading the cards and reading some of the new instructions. But I guess the most important thing about this new Link summoning format being introduced, the first thing we have to notice is the field's going to be different. So the field Pendulum Zones used to be kind of like in a different zone. You still got to use 5 spell and traps, but that's now different. Now your Pendulum Zones are in your left and right most outer spell and trap zone. So as you guys can see, when you pendulum up, for example, if I go activate Archfiend Eccentric, I have to scale it up over there and then activate Guiding Ariadne. So basically all I can do at this point is like set 3 back row. So I can like set Mirror Force, set a Storming Mirror Force, and then set like a Drowning Mirror Force. Like, this is all the spell and traps you can set, because you do have your scales locked up as spell and traps now. So that's kind of a new thing. So for example, all you can set is now 3 when you scale up Pendulum Zones. So that's all the back row you can have. But say you only just want to activate like Ariadne, say you're playing counter phase, you set counter traps, or in this instance we're just going to set more Mirror Forces. You can set 4 Mirror Forces with the Guiding Ariadne in one scale. Like, that's pretty much how that works now with the Pendulum Zones. And also the one last thing I wanted to cover with Pendulum Zones, for instance, I'm going to kind of use this old archetype Metaphos as kind of a little showcase, I guess, because this deck used to be one of the best decks, but now with Link format it's kind of different now. So like, we're just going to pretend we special summon this guy, right? So we're going to get 2 tokens. We'll use these random cards right here. So we just get 2 tokens, right? So we're going to activate Metaphos Stealing. We're going to activate Metaphos Gold Driver. Activate Gold Driver to pop a token, right? So this gets destroyed. We're going to set this from our deck. So we're going to set Combination. So I'm going to just show it face up to make life easy for you guys. And then we're going to use this to destroy the scale that we used to pop. So this goes in our extra deck now. So that goes there. And then the card will resolve. We're going to set Metaphor Fusion, just because we can. Alright, since that's a scale 1, we have a scale 8 over here, so now we can use this 8, use this Volflame to pop Stealing, and then we're gonna set this card, which is Metaphor Counter, which I'm just gonna keep face up. So these 3 are all set. Then you can activate the last scale in your hand, so you have a scale 1 and a scale 8. So these are all set. Alright, so for instance, when you go Pendulum Summon now, you can only have 1 zone. This zone right here is called your extra monster zone. So anything that's coming for the extra deck will have to go here. So for instance, I would choose probably Gold Driver over the Stealing because it has more attack points. But say you have like a pendulum in your monster or in your hand. So say I have these random 2 in my hand, right? So when I Pendulum Summon and that comes out for an extra deck, the only one that can come out for an extra deck can go in this 1 zone. But say if you have 2, 3, or even just 1 Metaphor Pendulum monster, you can Pendulum Summon these 2 to your main monster zone. So that's how that works. So when you Pendulum Summon now, you can only summon 1 from the extra deck. So the 1 extra deck will go up here, and then you can summon as many as you want from your hand to your main monster zone. So that's how pendulums kind of work now. I know it kind of seems confusing, but I'm trying to explain it the best way I can without super confusing myself also, because this is a new mechanic. It's really weird to me. So then that just random Stealing was just stuck, because you can only Pendulum Summon 1 to your extra deck in Monster Zone. So now that that's out of the way, this is another cool thing I want to talk about. So obviously we're trying to get to these links, right? So links. Alright, so we're going to kind of use some more of the structure deck to kind of explain the links, because it's just pretty basic. So just say we open with just these 2 cards. So this guy's kind of like a Cyber Dragon. So for instance, I'm going to go Special Summon Link Slayer. I'm going to specifically put it under the Monster Zone, just to make things easy. You don't have to put it there, but your zone placement does matter, so you have to actually probably declare in the future where you're summoning cards, and you cannot move anything. And we're going to normal summon this guy. So when this guy's normal summon, you can special summon level 2 or lower normal monster from your hand or deck in defense position. So we're going to special summon this guy. The guy from the structure deck, Bytron or whatever. So that's basically setting us up for the most basic link summon. So if we try to access any of the new 3 links, we can access any of these right now. because this one only takes one normal monster. This one takes 2 Cyberverse monsters, which we do have, because these are all 3 Cybers, but it just says 2. And then this one is a 3, Link 3. I should also probably explain that these do not have levels. As you guys can see, there's no levels or ranks. These are just pretty much just monsters. And as you guys can see, you see the 2300 attack on this one, 1900 attack on this one, 1000 attack on this one. They do not have defense points, as you guys can see. So there's no mechanic in the game that can switch these to defense modes. So say if this was actually on the field in the main monster zone by sending this to the grave, because to meet this condition you only have to send one normal monster, and it has to be from face up from your field. So we can meet that condition by sending this to the graveyard and summoning Link Spider. And it doesn't matter which zone you choose. If your opponent, if it's unoccupied by your opponent and you're going first, say you're going first, you can choose this side or this side. But you have to remember that these important things called these right here are link arrows, and these pretty much pink. They point to things that are linked and then will either give effects or have effects. So this guy's effect is actually just once per turn you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand to your zone that points to this card. So like it would go there because the arrow is going down. But in this instance we're not even trying to do any of that. So we're just special summoning Link Spider, and that's just a link summon, so it's like inherent. Alright, so that's how you pretty much link summon. This guy takes 2 Cyberverse monsters. So say for instance we did the same play, we special summon Link Slayer, normal summon the Draconet, summon Bytron. We can either also go on the Honeybot. So Honeybot says it takes 2 Cyberverse monsters and it's a Link 2. And then the Link 2 is basically called the Link rating. So when you summon this guy, you have to send face up from your field the 2 things that the materials that match up the description, and then in this case it's 2 Cyberverse monsters. So you can do like these 2, because they're 2 Cyberverse monsters right there. They go to graveyard, and then he gets Link summoned right there. That's pretty much how he comes out. And then this guy's effect, whatever he points to with card effects, cannot be destroyed by battle. So that's pretty cool. As you guys see, they're on the side. So honestly, you don't really want to summon this guy in your main monster zone. You kind of want to summon this guy first. So in best case scenario, you gotta summon Decode Talker, which is probably the best one in the starter deck at the moment. So you send all 3 of these monsters to the graveyard. This guy comes out. So as you guys can see, his arrows are pointing here, here, and here, indicated by those red link arrows right there. So this guy gains 500 attack points for each monster it points to. So if there was a monster here, for instance, say there was a Draconet there, and then I had just for kicks and giggles, it was these 2. So as you guys can see, that there are 3 monsters in each zone that it's pointing to. So this guy basically gains 500 attack for each one. So it'd be at 3,800 pretty much. And then when your opponent tries to activate a card or effect that targets a card you control, which is a quick effect, you contribute 1 monster that this card points to, negate the activation if you do destroy that card. So when it says you contribute, it doesn't say your opponent's monster, so you can't just tribute off your opponent's monster. You actually still have to use your monster zone. You still have to use that mechanic. So when you're negating something with this effect, you have to still tribute monsters from your side of the field. So that's pretty cool. I guess another cool thing, when he's pointing, like say if you have these guys and you summon Link guy, these 2 zones you have pointing, you can actually summon other guys. So say for instance I have this guy summoned already, and then next turn I summon this guy. It doesn't matter where, honestly, you just summon this guy to summon another one of these guys. So these arrows point to zones you can still exceed in or synchro or fusion summon in. So when you have that, you can send these 2 monsters to summon this guy, 2 Cyberverse monsters, because this guy's pointing here, you can actually summon more monsters. So say I summon Honeybot, so now you can actually use his actual real arrows, like before I just summoned him there, but now that he's actually Link summoned, you can actually use these 2 spots to protect those monsters by battle, which is pretty cool. So now that this card's pointing here, we can also summon cards from the extra deck here and here. So say if I have this guy randomly reborn from the grave, I can send this guy to the graveyard to summon the Link Spider. So yeah, that's because you can summon here because he's pointing there now. I know that sounds really confusing. It's really crazy, I know. But yeah. Alright, let me go to another thing that's explained in the kind of the starter deck manual. So say if I had that guy special summon again, I know I'm using the same combo, but it's just pretty simple from the starter deck. So say I have these 3. let's see. And I summon this guy, right? We're gonna summon the Link Spider up there. So we sent the vanilla to summon Link Spider. So as you guys can see that's a Link 1, and this is just a normal effect monster. You can actually just summon this guy by sending all 3 of these also. So you can just sending all 3 of those to summon this guy. Because it takes 3, so it's just a regular Link 1, you can do that. And then in the other case, say we just have this, we special summon, we normal summon this, special summon that, and then we go summon this Honeybot. So send 2 Cyberse monsters and summon this from the extra deck. Now you have a Link 2 and this. So this just looks like 2 effect monsters, right? Actually, when you're Link summoning for Link Summon, you can count this number as another monster. So like this would be 2 and 1, so that's 3. So you can actually send these 2 to the graveyard and summon Decode Talker. So that's pretty dope about the Link mechanic. I think I explained most of what I could that I can understand from reading the starter deck. I also want to go into some pretty cool things. So say, for instance, I activate Brilliant Fusion. We're going to send these 2 to the graveyard to special summon this guy, Seraph Knight. Seraph Knight actually goes into your extra deck zone. So there you go. And that's how that comes out. And this can actually, as you guys can see, when you Brilliant Fusion, say I summon an attack because I had an extra dead spell, you actually can break the number of monsters. Instead of just having 5 as a max, you can actually have 6. And when the new set Code Duelist comes out, you can actually take the 7th spot. So you can almost control 7 monsters in this new format, which is kind of crazy. Also wanted to explain something pretty cool. Alright, so you can still play normal cards like, I know these cards will never get played, but say if I have a Gold Driver and a Snow, and I want to Exceed summon, so we're just going to Exceed, they fly up to whatever extra deck zone you want to be in. Say I'm making Utopia. So we all know that what this card does. Basically, we have a S39. This doesn't change the rules about just overlaying on top of another material, so you can just overlay on top of it without having to worry about having another zone in your extra deck thing. So that's pretty dope. And then one more cool thing I wanted to explain. So this was, I learned this one from my brother. So pretty much, when these aren't Pendulum Zones, they're just regular Spell and Trap zones. So you can just like set 2 Spell and Trap, and then like it just treat it as Spell and Trap. So they can Twin Twister these and Cosmic Cyclone these. So that's what happens there. For instance, let's say I have a Malleus Grave, I normal summon this, or move Malleus to special summon this from my my deck. We're gonna Synchro Summon, right? We're gonna make this guy in my extra deck zone. So we made a Stardust Dragon. For instance, if my opponent activates Mirror Force when I attack, so say they have that, I declare an attack on their Draconet. They go activate Mirror Force. So activate Mirror Force, chain Stardust Dragon to negate and destroy the Mirror Force. What happens is that gets negated and destroyed, goes to grave. At the end phase, remember how Stardust comes back if it negates and destroys something. So it doesn't actually come back to your extra deck zone, because now it's not coming from your extra deck. It was actually just special from the graveyard. Anytime a monster just like special summon like that, you just special summon it back to the main monster zone. So now you just clear up your Link zone for next turn, and you can actually summon another extra deck monster without worry, and then still have a Stardust Dragon on your main card zone. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to explain at the moment. Let me know what you guys think down below the video. I know it's kind of random. I was kind of explaining what I can. I'm also learning this new mechanic, so let me know if I messed something up or if you guys thought it was pretty cool. And let me know what you guys think of this new Link format coming up soon. Alright guys, we're signing out. Peace.